everybody in the world has stone intellect, and Baba is giving us divine intellect. And I was just thinking, that Baba today also points out that sometimes, sometimes, or you would say all the time, when you keep hearing a lie, that lie becomes a truth for you, and you're not able to distinguish between the lie and truth. For example, Baba says that, let's say, there is maybe there is a war, and then there is a report that these people are fighting for their rights, so the war is right, and you hear it so much that you can't even see deeper that it's a war. How can it be right? It cannot be right for anybody to go on war and kill. But the thing is, we listen to so many views about something, and sometimes, when somebody gives their opinion very loudly, then it's in front of us, but we can't see it, because what we have heard and what we have been told, that is shrouding our, buddhi. And Baba says that everybody says that we achieved freedom without bloodshed. Yes, but was it without bloodshed? There was so much of bloodshed. But still, sometimes you hear it so many times that you can't even see that. I remember there was this one Mata, and she was from the partition days, so she was very old and she had seen the partition. And when she came to the center, she used to tell me that, Didi, I've been a spiritual person all my life. I've been a BK, and I have deep love for Baba. I remember Baba, and I always thought that I have cleansed myself, with yoga, and my sins are burnt. But one time I had a panic attack, and then I went to a psychiatrist, and then there were some questions they started asking me. And then after that, what they understood was that I had seen the partition. So that trauma of going through that whole thing, that was lying deep inside. And although I had been working on myself for so long, that trauma was so deep that it had not been healed. And she said that I thanked Baba that, this was also Baba's help, that I could become aware of such deep-seated trauma. And then I started working on myself again, that I'm a deathless soul and I'm Baba's child, and I started meditating more on that, and I feel better now. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, people are carrying that trauma until now, and there was so much of bloodshed and everything, and Baba today says that, it was told to us in such a manner that we thought that it was very smooth. And sometimes you watch movies and you watch other stuff and you hear stories, and then you think that it was very heroic and very beautiful, and sometimes you also think that, oh, I should have been there at that time, because it is glorified so much. But Baba says that in this world, the lie is told so vehemently and so many times that you can't see the truth. The truth remains very shrouded. And let's look at many things that our stone intellect is not able to recognize. Yes, um, there is this thing about life that people think that if something comes free, it's very good. Yes, if something comes free and you don't have to do anything and you're getting something for free, whether it is emotional, whether it is financial, whether it is physical. So people think that it's a sign of great fortune. Yes, so people think that, if you're sitting all day and somebody is doing everything for you, it's a sign of great fortune. Or, you're just throwing tantrums all the time and somebody is taking care of your emotional health, or somebody is feeding your emotions, your ego. It's a very fortunate thing to have. So, there was this one Mata, and she once told me that I am very fortunate to have a daughter in law who never back answers. And she said that it's been 20 years, she has never answered me back. I have abused her, I have shouted at her, and I've insulted her in front of 10 people also, but she has never back answered. So I said, and why do you think that's a sign of good fortune? So she said, when you have such a bahu, it's a sign of great fortune. So I said, no, I don't think so. I think, if you had a daughter-in-law who stopped you the first time, it would have been great, because then you wouldn't create so much of pap karma. Because, sometimes you think that somebody is not reacting, or somebody is just taking it lying down. So that's a very good thing. Or you think that somebody is just splurging money on you and you are wasting it, and you have all the resources with you. So that's a sign of fortune. But I think it's the opposite, because you are. So Baba tells us, when Baba comes, Baba gives us the knowledge that there is no free lunch. So Baba says, you don't receive anything for free in this world. Yes, so there is this law this law of reciprocity, or this law that you have to pay for whatever you take. That law of karma, which ensures that you have to do something for everything. So even if you're getting it, you have to pay for it. You have to pay it back. And if you don't do it, then you are incurring a karmic debt. Yes, so it is a karmic debt that one is incurring, and if you're not aware of it, still it's a karmic debt. And when the burden of that debt increases, then suddenly things start moving against you. So, do you understand that people who are very used to taking debts, they rejoice a lot when their loan is passed. Yes, and one loan, second loan, third loan, and they are very happy that I've been my this loan was passed and that loan was passed, and they're celebrating. But it at the end of the day, it's a loan, and then maybe the lender doesn't come at your door until 1 year or 2 years, but that lender will come. And what happens when that lender comes to your door? You start getting stress at that time, you start having tension, you start feeling fear. So Baba says, similarly, everything that you take in this world, don't think that it's free lunch. So, you must ensure that you never take more than you give. So you must ensure that you are always reciprocating. And if you don't reciprocate, then you are having a karmic burden. And when that karmic burden starts showing itself, then don't get scared of it, because that's a karmic burden you've created. So let me give you a very simple example. So Baba says that, in this world, you have been interacting with souls for 63 births. Interacting in body consciousness for 63 births. So maybe with souls there could be karmic settlement also. Somebody gave you something and then they didn't give you an opportunity to pay back also. Have you seen there are some people who come into your life, they just help you, they just give you the support and they vanish. So that case is a case where there is some karmic connection and they came and gave it to you. But then you should also know that if somebody can do something selflessly for you, you can also do it for the other. But the most important aspect of this law of reciprocity is when Baba comes to us. Yes, and there is a very big illusion in the mind of human beings that it is God's duty to help us. It is God's duty to be there for us. And it is, God is just doing His duty, so we don't need to even recognize it. So, taking God for granted is a very big sanskar that we have created. But do you understand that when the highest on high comes from the pure world and sits in an impure body and in an impure world and gives us something? So, Baba is giving us the knowledge. Baba is giving us Shrimat, those directions which turn us from a human to a deity. So, when Baba gives us this, the first duty for us is, the law of reciprocity says that you imbibe it. So, the first thing is when Baba gives us knowledge, we become knowledgeful, we become virtuous. So, we cannot say that, we are sitting in the class every day and Baba has no work, so he's just come, he's giving the murli, he's giving teachings, and I don't care. No, when Baba comes and gives his time, energy, and Baba creates instruments who surrender themselves to Baba, who are Baba's right hands. And when we take the time from Baba, the energy from Baba, we take seva from Baba, then the first duty is that we become pure. We imbibe Baba's teachings. We remember the one who has given, who has come from the soul world and is doing so much for us. And if we are not able to make small lifestyle changes, we are not able to change our food and drink, and we are not able to change the time we get up, and we are not able to change the way we look after our bodies and the way we use our sense organs, if we are not able to change things at such a gross level, which is nothing, if you look at it. I remember, there was this one sister, and she told me something very beautiful. I told her that, she said, Didi, what do we have to follow here? Some disciplines. So I said, I would suggest that you purify your food. Although, it was just 3 days she had come. So I said, I would suggest that you do away with non-vegetarian and onion and garlic. And she said, okay, Didi, I can do that. So I said, slowly, gradually, you will also learn to cook in Baba's remembrance, but for now, however much you understand Baba, you cook in Baba's remembrance according to that. So she said, okay Didi, I'll do that. So then I asked her, so you are somebody who eats onion and garlic, and what made you say instantly that I'll do this? So she said, Didi, I didn't eat onion and garlic when I was in my mother's place, but when I got married, overnight, these people ate onion and garlic in my in-laws. So I was kind of directed to eat it. So I did it. So if I can do it for a human being, why can't I do it for God? So she said, now God is directing me to not eat it. So it's not a big deal for me. So you see that if we understand that this is God Himself, Shiv Baba, who has come and He is giving me these directions and giving me His time and energy and He is on service for me, then what stops us from imbibing what Baba says? And Baba says that the first thing that Baba expects from us is we become pure, we become a yogi. And Baba says, just forget the old world, just remember me. Don't waste your time in sensual pleasures, don't derive your inner happiness and peace from sensual indulgence. Just turn your mind towards me. I am the ocean of peace, ocean of love, ocean of happiness. And just in this connection with me, wherein you are a soul and I am the ocean of joy, you experience that super sensuous joy. And why can't we do what Baba says? And it will require practice. So when we start, trying with an honest heart, then slowly, gradually, that practice will get deeper and faster and it will start yielding results. And then Baba says that you have to do my seva. You have to invest your body, mind and wealth in seva. So Baba says that you have to reciprocate with this. So it's not like, you only keep taking from Baba and you don't do anything for Baba's seva. You say, mine is mine and Baba's is also mine, and I'm entitled to Baba's everything, but I don't have a duty towards Baba. Because you see that the law ensures that you have to pay attention to dharana, imbibing, you have to pay attention to yoga, you have to pay attention to seva. And if we don't do that, then what happens? Then that same law will ensure that your intellect will turn in a manner that you will not be able to appreciate Baba's presence, you will not be able to appreciate Baba's Murli and teachings. And the same buddhi which had started understanding so many things, this will again turn into stone, and we will not be able to again understand anything in the Murli, and we will start acting completely opposite to what Baba says, and we will not be able to even see it. Why? Because that same intellect which was turning into divine intellect, which was able to discern, where is the pap karma being created, or that same intellect which was helping us to improve our karma, that intellect will turn against ourselves, and that intellect will start telling you, who is Baba, why do you care, and you will start finding faults with Baba and those same instruments who you understood that these are, God's angels, you will start finding faults with them. So Baba says that be very wary of this law of reciprocity. And there is no free lunch, and when we take seva from Baba and we don't do the needful, so Baba doesn't just expect us to do seva, Baba expects us to imbibe and do seva. So Baba says that if Baba says na bano or banao, so you have to become like Baba and imbibe Baba's teachings and also help everybody come closer to Baba by using your body, mind and wealth in Yajna Seva. So Baba says, if you don't do these two things, then slowly, gradually, that same divine intellect which was able to understand, appreciate, stops understanding and appreciating Baba. So it's very important to understand that, this divine intellect makes us understand that it's not something free that we should desire, or, it's not that we should desire that, we keep taking and not giving anything, or not even living up to Baba's hope. That is, even if we are not able to do seva, that's okay. But if we are not able to even live up to Baba's hopes, if our lifestyle is not changing, if our thoughts are not changing, still there is anger, there is irritation. And sometimes children say, my anger is not going away, my irritation is not going away. But what are you doing for it? That's the big question. How will it go away? Just like that. How will it go away just like that? It will go away when you wake up and meditate. If your anger is not going away, just sit in Baba's remembrance early in the morning from 2 a.m. Get up at 2, sit and just stay in Baba's remembrance and soak in that peace, that love that Baba is giving. Then your heart will be, drenched in that love and peace, and that heart will be capable of, extinguishing that fire of anger. Today Baba has given that slogan that, if your chit, your deep subconscious is full of Baba's peace and love, then even waves of anger which emerge from sanskars, or they are in the environment, when you will not be able to catch fire with that, that fire of anger. So Baba is telling us all these rules that that we were not aware of earlier. And Baba says that, and I have seen that, I'll give you a very simple example. There was this one Mata, and we were looking for somebody to clean the house. So paid servant we were looking for, and somebody to clean Baba's place. So we hired her, and I asked her, so do you eat onion and garlic, and do you take non-veg? So she said, no, I have never touched it. And then she because in Baba's house, when anybody works, even the experience of people who do paid service in Baba's house, their experience is that they become very light, and they feel those vibrations. And she used to work, and then she suddenly had this small she started having accidents every day. So every day she would have an accident, and then I wondered, why is this happening? And then I called her and I asked her, what happened? Why are you having these problems? And do you eat impure food, or what is the case? So she said, yes, I lied to you, and I take non-veg and I come. So, so of course we don't allow anybody to go into the kitchen or something, but she was cleaning the floor, and I said, no, you have to immediately stop working here because you cannot work here. If you are working here and you are eating impure food, then you will have to bear the consequences, because you are taking help from the environment, and you are in an environment which is very powerful. So if you are doing this, and it'll work against you, it has got nothing to do with us. So even if I employ you, you will be in trouble. So you see that you cannot take seva, even if somebody is doing paid seva in Baba's house, they are taking seva, because Baba's house is, a place of purity, a place of knowledge, a place of peace, and anybody who is taking that benefit has to imbibe something or the other. Otherwise, and if your intention is not to imbibe, then drama will stop you from, the onward journey. And in this regard, I also want to point out one thing, which is, in this case, intention is a very profound thing. So you see that many times, we are not able to change our sanskars abruptly. That's okay. Everybody will take time to change sanskars. But just check what is your intention and how much is your honesty. Yes, so if we are lying about our dharana, if we are saying we are doing something and we are not doing something, that's being dishonest. And that will not be entertained in Baba's house. And there is another thing, which is intention. What is my intention? Is my intention just to, is my intention to belong to Baba, try to understand what Baba is saying, or my intention is just to use Baba because, there is cheap motivation coming from this place, and, it's easy. So you're just trying to use Baba. No. Our intention has to be that I am a soul and this is Baba, God Himself, and when He is telling something to me, I have to try to understand what He is trying to tell me and do it. It's not like I keep functioning from my limited buddhi all the time and I keep thinking that, I know better than God, and what He is telling to me is not important. What I'm trying to figure out from Him is more important. So sometimes, children have the intention that I just want my solutions from Baba. No, you cannot have your solutions from Baba without understanding that this is God who has come from this soul world, and He is giving you the time, He is giving you His energy. So He has something to tell you and you ought to listen to that. It's not like you bring your questions and He will answer. No. What He brings for you has to be heard and adhered and imbibed. So that is the intention. When we say intention, what is the intention? Is my intention to belong to God, or my intention is to use God? So that's because when Baba comes, you have to listen to Him. You don't have to direct Him about what He should give you and how He should guide you and how He should help you. No, He has come. He knows much, much better than you. And when He's talking, you have to listen to Him, what He's trying to say and how He's trying to help. And you do what He says, not that you tell Him what He has to tell you. So this is something. So, and then honesty is very important. And those who don't submit the chart, they have no intention to be honest. Yes, because hiding is the biggest form of dishonesty. So, when we are taking palna, when we are taking seva, when we are taking sustenance from Baba, then isn't it our duty to submit our chart to Baba every day and give an honest account of what we are doing and what we are not doing? Or is it really smart of us to keep hiding everything and keep posing as we are doing everything? So when we sit in the class, most people don't even care to switch on the video. That's another story. But even if you sit with this video on, so everybody sits like we are attentive and we are good, but Is it not your duty to report what you're actually doing and not doing? So we have to give an account. We are accountable. We are accountable to Baba, and Baba deserves this account from us, that what are we really doing about what we are taking from Baba? Are we really improving our lifestyle? What are we doing with our body, mind and wealth? What are we doing with our thoughts, time and energy? So we owe an explanation to Baba, and Baba deserves an explanation about this, because Baba is really giving us a lot. So Baba says that, and if we lie about it, then it creates bigger sin. So sometimes, people think that if instead of lying, let me just not tell. But that's not the solution. So even not telling is a form of dishonesty. So Baba says that we have to give our chart, we have to pay attention to whether we are responding appropriately and with regard to what Baba is giving us. And it is very important, and nobody can just take seva and don't do anything and leave from Baba's house. That's not happening. So Baba says that don't incur karmic debt. This will be a karmic debt if we are just taking seva and not paying any attention to imbibing Baba's teachings or doing any seva. So Baba says nobody can have free lunch and run away in Baba's house. That is a karmic burden, and slowly we'll start feeling the burden of that karmic burden. So this is something that I think, a divine intellect understands. And in my personal life, I feel that I have come to a place of realization that I don't like anything free. So even if, there is somebody who is doing something for me, I would always like to do more than the seva I am taking, because I know that that's how the law of karma works. And then there is another thing that comes to my mind about this divine intellect and stone intellect. So you see this thing about anger and this thing about righteous anger. So, we have been told so much about righteous anger that when somebody is wrong, in your opinion, then your anger towards them is right. Yes, there is this thing that has been fed to us for so many years. It is so ego based that when somebody is doing something wrong according to you, then you have a right to be angry on them. But Baba says that just ask yourself, if somebody does something wrong and you get angry, who will have an increase in blood pressure? He or they? You. So you will have an increase in blood pressure. Then if you're right, why is your BP increasing? Yes, so we don't even have to see the law of karma. We have to see practically, if somebody is doing something wrong, why are you suffering their karma? So it's not right, even if in your opinion somebody is very wrong, you don't have any right to get angry on anybody. Or because if you get angry, that is not right. That is not right for you. That is spoiling your own karma. So, and I think, every Brahmin, because, after lust, anger is the biggest one. And anger is taking away all our, Baba is filling us with so much love and peace and joy and everything. And I think, this anger, and I would say righteous anger always, because whenever anybody is angry these days, they think I'm right. So Baba says this righteous anger is taking away all your love, joy, peace that you're taking from me. So we must understand that although righteous anger has been celebrated so much, and these days, people think that it's some kind of moral duty to keep getting angry at everything that's going wrong. And I remember there was this one person watching television, and suddenly, while watching television, they started saying, how can you sit so peacefully and watch news? Don't you get angry when you see all this wrong that's happening in the world? So I just smiled and left there. So I said, I don't need to watch this television, or I don't need to get angry. And you see that people think that, if you're a big patriot if you're just sitting in front of the television and watching news and getting angry about people who you think are wronging your country or wronging something. So Baba says all this thing about righteous anger that has been sitting in our intellect is damaging us physically, spiritually, mentally, every which way. And we must look deeper, that anger has never solved anything, anger has never given any reward, and anger is something that only causes damage. So there is nothing like righteous anger. Anger is always wrong in whatever form, in whatever time, whatever occasion, whatever place. So, anger is always wrong, anger is a vice. So, Baba tells us this, and we must be very wary about this. So, Baba is changing our intellect from stone intellect to divine intellect, and we must be able to see what we couldn't see earlier. And intellect is the one who discerns and decides. So, discerning and deciding knowledgefully and creating good karmic journey for ourselves is a responsibility that we have to take for ourselves. Okay, Om Shanti.